Student question: in the three realms, there are 45 planets with life. Does this have any hidden meanings to the four-element body, and the process of consciousness transformation in Zen zone cultivation? Could you please explain this to us? Teacher answer: the 45 planets with life in the three realms have no connection to the four-element body, or the process of consciousness transformation in Zen zone cultivation. Each individual creates their own karma, and lives according to their own causes and effects. Some people may experience a shared accident or karma, which means that they performed a similar action in a past life, and now have to bear the same consequences. Answers to Vietnamese Physical Scientific Zen Buddhism on the 27th of February 2022. Life of the survivors after the early doomsday disaster. Student asked, Uncle, Ms. Hoang Thai Thu Hong asked you, who can still survive after the early doomsday disaster? You replied, those who live in deep mountain caves or islands. Uncle, so what will their lives be like? The teacher replied, the lives of these people are back in the Stone Age. 4 types of human nature. Imagine greed, evil view, attachments are used so aggressively that it brought people living in the electronic atomic civilization back to the Stone Age. This is the inevitable law of this cause and effect world. Answers to Vietnamese Physical Scientific Zen Buddhism, the 22nd of April 2022. Why is the country, which is able to help put Buddha's teachings into practice, under the name spotless, if the leaders of the world dutifully follow Buddha's teachings in the 24th teaching? The spotless country brings great blessings to humankind. Student asked 1/7. Ms. Hoang Thai Thu Hong asked you which country was able to help Buddha's teachings become applicable to everyone. And you said that if the world is unable to find a solution, look for it in the spotless country. Please help me answer why the country has this name. Teacher replied, the spotless country is the country where there is no power struggles because power belongs to the people. Therefore, it is called spotless country, which means the people do not tear each other apart for power. Student asked 2/7. Where is the spotless country in the world map? Teacher replied, the spotless country is in the eastern of Southeast Asia. Student asked 3/7. Why is it necessary to go to the spotless country in order for humans and the earth to continue to exist? Teacher replied, the spotless country is where the Buddha essence is released. In order to save the world and mankind from early destruction, it is necessary to listen to Buddha's teachings about 3 parts of this earth organization and the reasons for mankind's early destruction. First, humans have to know about 3 parts of the earth organization. Part 1. How many periods do human organizations have? Part 2. What responsibilities do invisible species organizations have? Part 3. What are the goals of religious organizations? First, humans have to learn thoroughly the 3 parts, then humans can understand the truths on earth and human nature's 4 parts are appropriately adjusted. First is imagination. Without evil imagination, nature, is adjusted to kindness, decorum, uprightness, wisdom, right belief. Second is greed. Without greed, humans do not take away possessions from anyone. Third is evil. Without evil, humans do not want to harm anyone. Fourth is view attachment. Without view attachment, I no longer assume we are always right, never wrong, humans become humble and gentle. If the leaders of the world learn 3 parts of the earth organization mentioned above, their 4 parts of human nature make the world peaceful. And if they try a little more to read the 24th chapter of Buddha's teaching, the war between the nations immediately stops. And if they try further to read the book of Physical Scientific Zen Buddhist teachings, and unlock the Buddha eyes and wisdom, humans on earth live together, as siblings in a family. War never happens. Student asked 4/7. Why did Shakyamuni Buddha give the spotless country this great honor? Teacher replied, because the spotless country has descendants of the dragon and fairy, the Buddha gives this honor to the country. However, the fact that this honor is realized depends on the spotless country's leaders. Student asked 5/7. Does the spotless country only take this noble responsibility in the Shakyamuni Buddha era? Teacher replied, because the spotless country is responsible for releasing humanity quintessence, Shakyamuni Buddha gives this mission to the country in order to have world peace, no more war, and the people live in harmony, no more conflict. Student asks 6/7. If the leaders of the world ignore Buddha's teachings in the 24th teaching, what effects does the spotless country suffer? Teacher replied, if the leaders of the world ignore Buddha's teachings in the 24th teaching, the spotless country does not fulfill its responsibility. The people of the spotless country will die in war, and the country will be destroyed by horrible man-made bombs. Student asks 7/7. If the leaders of the world dutifully follow Buddha's teachings in the 24th teaching, what happens to the spotless country? Teacher replied, if the leaders of the world dutifully follow Buddha's teachings in the 24th teaching, the spotless country brings great blessings to humankind. Humans in coming generations will have eternal gratitude for this spotless country. How can a Zen Buddhist follow Zen Buddhism persistently and never fall back? Don't beg or bow to anyone on this earth, because earth is the home of 5 living beings. Student asked 1/4, Uncle, is there any way to help people practice Zen Buddhism consistently and never fall back? Teacher replied, to practice Zen Buddhism consistently, without retreating, you must practice as follows. If you are studying, you keep studying. When growing up and having a family, you take care of your family. As a citizen, you take care of your country. Don't beg or bow to anyone on this earth, because earth is the home of 5 living beings. On this earth, if you practice right, you will enjoy blessings. If you practice wrong, you will either be reincarnated into a plant or go to hell. Especially, you should fully understand 3 parts. 1. What is the organization of the earth? 2. What is the organization of the invisible realm? 3. What is the purpose of religions? Only then will you be able to follow this Zen Buddhism persistently. Do deity nature, saint nature, and fairy nature help human nature to create merit? Saint nature helps human nature live in kindness, decorum, uprightness, wisdom, right belief, in order to be a right person. Student asked, Buddha nature, who borrows human nature to create merit and bring back home, receives the assistance from deity nature, saint nature, and fairy nature. So in what case the above 3 natures offer help to the Buddha nature, so that it can create pure merit? Please help explain clearly to us. Teacher replied, Buddha nature borrows human nature to create merit with the help from fairy nature helps human nature live in peace. Do not believe in evil ways that are subjected to causes and effects. Saint nature helps human nature live in kindness, decorum, uprightness, wisdom, right belief, in order to be a right person. Deity nature helps manage Buddha nature borrowing human body and human nature. There are 2 cases. Creating merit. Assign the deities, saints, fairies board to perform the farewell ceremony, or instruct the way back to the Buddha world. Creating karma. Let deities board execute causes and effects. If you don't practice, don't believe anything in this variant electromagnetic earth, just take care of your family and the fatherland. The deity who manages causes and effects will give you to your human's ancestry, to let you reincarnate, as a human within your family lines. This is the duty of the deities, saints, and fairies. They always follow humans until they move to another body's forms. Answers to Vietnamese Physical Scientific Zen Buddhism, the 27th of February 2022. The mission of Buddha nature to the human world. The main aim of Buddha nature into the human world is to borrow the body and human nature, to create merit to bring back to the Buddha world and become a Buddha. Student asked 1/2. The main aim of Buddha nature entering the human world is to borrow the action of human nature, to create merit to bring back to the Buddha world and become a Buddha. Besides, Buddha nature doesn't need to do anything in the human world, right? Thank you for clarifying so that we can understand clearly. Teacher replied, correct. The main aim of Buddha nature into the human world is to borrow the body and human nature, to create merit to bring back to the Buddha world and become a Buddha. If Buddha nature borrowed human body and human nature to practice, or do something else, it is subjected to causes and effects, and cannot return to the Buddha realm. Answers to Vietnamese Physical Scientific Zen Buddhism, the 27th of February 2022.
Student asks two halves when Buddha nature enters the three realm.